Welcome to Woo English. In this story, you'll learn English through clear and simple sentences. We encourage you to write comments and share your thoughts. If you enjoy the story, please press the like button to reward us. It really helps us out. Remember, the purpose of this story is educational. We want to help you improve your English while enjoying an exciting tale. We do not encourage or glorify the actions of the characters involved. Let's begin the journey together. Chapter 1. Early Years. Linus Pauling was born on February 28, 1901, in Portland, Oregon. His parents, Herman and Lucy Pauling, were excited to welcome their first son. Linus had two sisters, Pauline and Lucille. The Pauling family lived a simple life. Herman worked as a pharmacist, while Lucy stayed at home to take care of the children. From a young age, Linus was curious about the world around him. He loved to explore and ask questions. His mother would often find him taking apart toys to see how they worked. Even though they did not have much money, Herman and Lucy encouraged Linus to learn and explore. When Linus was 9 years old, something happened that changed his life forever. His father, Herman, died suddenly from a stomach ulcer. This was a hard time for the Pauling family. Without Herman's income, they struggled to make ends meet. Lucy had to find work to support the family. Linus, as the oldest child, felt a strong responsibility to help his mother and sisters. Despite these challenges, Linus continued to do well in school. He was a bright student, especially interested in math and science. His teachers noticed his talent and encouraged him to pursue his interests. Linus loved reading science books and performing simple experiments at home. One day, when Linus was about 12 years old, he visited a friend's house. His friend had a small chemistry lab in the basement. Linus was fascinated by the bottles, tubes, and chemicals. He watched as his friend mixed different substances to create reactions. This experience sparked a deep interest in chemistry for Linus. He decided he wanted to learn everything he could about this exciting field. Linus started reading more about chemistry. He borrowed books from the library and spent hours studying them. He also began conducting his own experiments at home. He used whatever materials he could find, often buying chemicals with the little money he had. Sometimes, he would even use his lunch money to buy chemicals instead of food. As Linus entered high school, his passion for science grew. He took every science class available and excelled in them. His teachers were impressed by his knowledge and dedication. One teacher, Miss Jeanette Jones, played a significant role in Linus's education. She recognized his potential and gave him extra books and materials to study. However, the Pauling family continued to face financial difficulties. Linus knew that college would be expensive, and he worried about how he would afford it. He decided to take on part-time jobs to save money. He worked as a grocery store clerk, a paper boy, and even a meat market helper. Linus was determined to get an education, no matter how hard he had to work. In 1917, Linus graduated from Washington High School. He was one of the top students in his class. He wanted to continue his studies in chemistry, but he knew he needed a scholarship to afford college. Fortunately, he received a scholarship to attend Oregon Agricultural College, OAC, which is now known as Oregon State University. Linus was thrilled to have the opportunity to go to college. He continued to work hard to support himself. He took on various jobs, including grading papers and working in the chemistry department. His dedication paid off as he excelled in his studies. At OAC, Linus met several professors who would become important mentors in his life. One of them was Professor Samuel Graff, who taught chemistry. Professor Graff recognized Linus's talent and offered him a position as a teaching assistant. This job helped Linus financially and gave him valuable experience in teaching and research. Linus's time at OAC was filled with hard work and discoveries. He conducted many experiments and learned advanced concepts in chemistry. He also developed his skills in public speaking and teaching, which would be important in his future career. Despite the challenges he faced, Linus was determined to succeed. During his college years, Linus faced a personal challenge as well. He fell in love with a fellow student, Ava Helen Miller. Ava Helen was smart and passionate about education, just like Linus. The two became close friends and later fell in love. They supported each other through the ups and downs of college life. In 1922, Linus graduated from OAC with a degree in chemical engineering. He was at the top of his class. His hard work and dedication had paid off. Linus was ready to take the next step in his journey. He wanted to continue his education and conduct research at a higher level. Linus applied to several graduate schools and was accepted to the California Institute of Technology, Caltech. This was a dream come true for him. Caltech was one of the top scientific institutions in the country. Linus knew that studying there would open many doors for his future. Moving to California was a big step for Linus and Ava Helen. They got married in 1923 and moved to Pasadena, where Caltech is located. Linus began his graduate studies under the guidance of Professor Roscoe Dickinson, a renowned chemist. He worked hard in the lab, conducting experiments and making new discoveries. Linus's time at Caltech was marked by many achievements. He published several research papers and earned his PhD in 1925. His work on the nature of chemical bonds was groundbreaking and would later earn him a Nobel Prize in chemistry. Looking back on his early years, Linus Pauling often reflected on the challenges he faced and the support he received from his family, teachers, and mentors. His determination and passion for science drove him to overcome obstacles and achieve great success. Linus's story is an inspiration to all who strive to pursue their dreams, no matter the difficulties they encounter along the way. Linus Pauling's early years were filled with both hardship and discovery. His journey from a curious child in Portland to a pioneering scientist at Caltech shows the power of perseverance and the importance of education. As we continue to explore his life and achievements, we see how these early experiences shaped the man who would become one of the greatest scientists of the 20th century. Chapter 2. The College Journey. Linus Pauling was excited and nervous as he arrived at Oregon Agricultural College, OAC, in the fall of 1917. He was ready to begin his college journey, but he knew it would not be easy. The Pauling family didn't have much money, so Linus had to find ways to pay for his education. Linus quickly realized that college life was very different from high school. The classes were harder, and there was much more work to do. But Linus was determined. He loved learning about chemistry, and he wanted to succeed. To pay for his tuition and books, Linus took on several part-time jobs. He worked as a grocery store clerk, a paper boy, and even a meat market helper. Balancing work and study was tough, but Linus managed. One of the most important people Linus met at OAC was Professor Samuel Graff. Professor Graff taught chemistry and noticed Linus's talent and dedication right away. He offered Linus a position as a teaching assistant. This job was perfect for Linus. It not only helped him financially, but it also gave him valuable experience in teaching and research. Linus learned a lot from Professor Graf, who became one of his first mentors. Linus spent many hours in the chemistry lab. He loved conducting experiments and discovering new things. One day, he was mixing chemicals to create different reactions. He carefully measured and poured each substance, watching closely as they combined. Suddenly, there was a bright flash and a small explosion. Linus stepped back, startled but excited. He had made a mistake, but he also learned something new. This experience made him even more curious about the mysteries of chemistry. In addition to Professor Graf, Linus also learned from other professors at OAC. Each of them had different teaching styles and areas of expertise. Linus absorbed as much knowledge as he could from each one. He asked many questions and often stayed after class to discuss ideas with his professors. They saw his potential and encouraged him to continue his studies. Despite the long hours of work and study, Linus also found time to enjoy college life. He joined several student clubs and made many new friends. One of his favorite activities was debating. Linus loved to argue about different topics and present his ideas clearly. This skill would later help him in his scientific career when he needed to explain his research to others. During his second year at OAC, Linus faced a personal challenge. His mother, Lucy, became very ill. Linus worried about her and wanted to help. But he also knew that he needed to stay focused on his studies. He visited his mother as often as he could, balancing his time between home and school. Lucy encouraged Linus to keep studying and not to worry about her. She knew how important his education was. Linus's hard work paid off. He excelled in his classes and became one of the top students at OAC. His professors were impressed by his dedication and intelligence. They recommended him for scholarships, which helped ease his financial burden. Linus was grateful for their support and worked even harder to make them proud. In his third year of college, Linus had a pivotal moment that shaped his future career. He was working on a research project about the structure of crystals. He spent many hours in the lab, carefully analyzing the crystals under a microscope. One day, he made a breakthrough discovery about the way atoms are arranged in crystals. This finding was very important and showed his potential as a scientist. Linus was thrilled. He realized that he wanted to spend his life making discoveries like this one. As Linus continued his studies, he also thought about his future. He wanted to attend graduate school to further his education in chemistry. But he knew that this would require even more money and hard work. Linus started applying to different graduate programs, hoping to find one that would accept him and offer financial aid. During his senior year, Linus faced another challenge. He fell in love with a fellow student, Ava Helen Miller. Ava Helen was smart and passionate about education, just like Linus. They supported each other through the ups and downs of college life. Linus knew that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her, but he also knew that his education and career were important. Linus and Ava Helen talked about their future together and made plans to support each other's dreams. In 1922, Linus graduated from OAC with a degree in chemical engineering. He was at the top of his class. His hard work and dedication had paid off. Linus was ready to take the next step in his journey. He wanted to continue his education and conduct research at a higher level. Linus applied to several graduate schools and was accepted to the California Institute of Technology, Caltech. This was a dream come true for him. Caltech was one of the top scientific institutions in the country. Linus knew that studying there would open many doors for his future. Moving to California was a big step for Linus and Ava Helen. They got married in 1923 and moved to Pasadena, where Caltech is located. Linus began his graduate studies under the guidance of Professor Roscoe Dickinson, a renowned chemist. He worked hard in the lab, conducting experiments and making new discoveries. Linus's time at Caltech was marked by many achievements. He published several research papers and earned his PhD in 1925. His work on the nature of chemical bonds was groundbreaking and would later earn him a Nobel Prize in chemistry. Looking back on his college journey, Linus Pauling often reflected on the challenges he faced and the support he received from his family, teachers, and mentors. His determination and passion for science drove him to overcome obstacles and achieve great success. Linus's story is an inspiration to all who strive to pursue their dreams, no matter the difficulties they encounter along the way. Chapter 3. Meeting Ava Helen. Linus Pauling was in his second year at Oregon Agricultural College, OAC, when he first met Ava Helen Miller. It was a sunny afternoon in the fall of 1922. Linus had just finished a chemistry class and was walking across the campus. As he approached the library, he saw a group of students gathered outside, chatting and laughing. Among them was a young woman with bright eyes and a warm smile. Her name was Ava Helen Miller. Ava Helen was studying home economics at OAC. She was known for her intelligence, kindness, and strong sense of justice. Like Linus, she came from a humble background and valued education deeply. They had mutual friends, and soon Linus and Ava Helen were introduced to each other. They quickly discovered that they shared many interests and values. Linus was immediately drawn to Ava Helen's confidence and passion for learning. They began spending more time together, discussing their studies and dreams for the future. Ava Helen admired Linus's dedication to his studies and his curiosity about the world. She encouraged him to continue pursuing his passion for chemistry, even when it seemed difficult. One evening, Linus and Ava Helen went for a walk around the campus. The sky was clear, and the stars were shining brightly. They talked about their families, their goals, and their hopes for the future. Linus felt a deep connection with Ava Helen. He realized that she was not only a friend, but also someone who truly understood and supported him. As their relationship grew, Linus and Ava Helen found ways to support each other's academic and personal growth. Ava Helen often helped Linus with his studies, proofreading his papers and offering suggestions. Her insights were invaluable, and Linus appreciated her thoughtful advice. In return, Linus helped Ava Helen with her coursework and encouraged her to pursue her interests in social justice and education. Linus and Ava Helen's partnership was not just about academics. They also enjoyed spending time together outside of school. They went on picnics, attended college events, and even joined a debate club. Their debates were lively and filled with mutual respect. They challenged each other's ideas and learned from each other's perspectives. In the spring of 1923, Linus and Ava Helen decided to get married. They knew that their love and partnership would help them face the challenges ahead. Their wedding was a simple but joyful event, attended by close friends and family. After the ceremony, they moved into a small apartment near the campus. Being married brought new responsibilities and challenges, for Linus and Ava Helen. They had to balance their studies, work, and household duties. Linus continued to work multiple jobs to support their household, while Ava Helen managed their home and continued her studies. Despite the busy schedule, they always found time to support each other and share their experiences. Ava Helen's support played a crucial role in Linus's academic success. She encouraged him to apply for graduate programs and helped him prepare his applications. Linus's hard work and dedication paid off when he was accepted to the California Institute of Technology, Caltech, for graduate studies. This was a significant milestone in his academic journey, and Ava Helen was there to celebrate with him. In 1923, Linus and Ava Helen moved to Pasadena, California, where Caltech is located. The move was a big change for both of them, but they faced it together. Linus began his graduate studies under the guidance of Professor Roscoe Dickinson, a renowned chemist. Ava Helen found work as a teacher to help support them financially. Life in Pasadena was challenging but exciting. Linus spent long hours in the lab, conducting experiments and making new discoveries. He often came home late, exhausted but exhilarated by his work. Ava Helen was always there to listen, offer advice and provide comfort. Her unwavering support gave Linus the strength to keep going, even when things were tough. During this time, Linus and Ava Helen's partnership evolved beyond just academic and personal support. They became involved in social and political causes, advocating for peace, justice, and equality. Ava Helen was particularly passionate about these issues, and she inspired Linus to join her in her activism. Together, they attended rallies, wrote letters, and spoke out against injustice. In 1925, Linus earned his PhD from Caltech. It was a proud moment for both him and Ava Helen. They had worked hard to reach this point, and their efforts had paid off. Linus's research on the nature of chemical bonds was groundbreaking, and it set the stage for his future achievements. Ava Helen's support and encouragement had been instrumental in his success. Linus and Ava Helen's partnership continued to grow stronger over the years. They faced many challenges, but they always faced them together. Ava Helen's wisdom and compassion balanced Linus's curiosity and drive. Their love and respect for each other were the foundation of their relationship. In the years that followed, Linus became a renowned scientist, winning numerous awards and honors, but he never forgot the support and inspiration he received from Ava Helen. She was his partner in every sense of the word, and her contributions to his success were immeasurable. Linus and Ava Helen's story is a testament to the power of partnership and mutual support. They showed that together, they could overcome any obstacle and achieve great things. Their love story is not just about romance, but also about a deep and enduring partnership that helped them both grow and succeed. Chapter 4. The Road to Caltech. In the summer of 1922, Linus Pauling stood at a crossroads. He had just graduated from Oregon Agricultural College, OAC, with a degree in chemical engineering. His hard work and dedication had paid off, but his journey was far from over. Linus had big dreams and knew that to achieve them, he needed to continue his education. His next destination was the California Institute of Technology, known as Caltech. Caltech was one of the top scientific institutions in the United States. It was a place where many of the brightest minds in science and engineering worked and studied. Getting accepted to Caltech was a huge opportunity for Linus. It was a chance to learn from the best and to conduct important research. Linus and his wife, Ava Helen, prepared for the big move to Pasadena, California. They were both excited and a little nervous about starting this new chapter in their lives. Linus had been awarded a graduate fellowship, which helped cover some of their expenses. However, they still had to be careful with their money and find ways to make ends meet. Upon arriving at Caltech, Linus quickly realized that he was in a very different environment. The campus was bustling with activity, and the students and professors were focused on cutting-edge research. Linus was eager to dive into his studies and make the most of this opportunity. He was particularly interested in quantum chemistry, a new and exciting field at the time. Linus began working with Professor Roscoe Dickinson, a renowned chemist at Caltech. Professor Dickinson became a mentor to Linus, guiding him through the complexities of advanced chemistry. Under his mentorship, Linus learned how to conduct high-level research and think critically about scientific problems. One of the first challenges Linus faced at Caltech was adjusting to the demanding workload. He spent long hours in the laboratory, often working late into the night. The experiments were complex and required a lot of patience and precision. Linus was determined to succeed, even when the work was tough. He knew that each experiment brought him closer to understanding the mysteries of chemistry. In addition to his work in the lab, Linus also took advanced courses in physics and mathematics. These subjects were essential for his research in quantum chemistry. Linus found the classes challenging, but fascinating. He enjoyed learning about the fundamental principles that governed the behavior of atoms and molecules. As Linus delved deeper into his studies, he made several groundbreaking discoveries. One of his most significant contributions was in the area of chemical bonds. He developed new theories about how atoms bond together to form molecules. His work on the nature of chemical bonds was innovative and changed the way scientists understood chemistry. Linus's research on chemical bonds was published in several scientific journals. His papers gained recognition in the scientific community, and other researchers began to take notice of his work. Linus was invited to present his findings at conferences and seminars, where he shared his ideas with other scientists. These presentations helped to establish him as a rising star in the field of chemistry. Despite his growing success, Linus remained humble and focused on his work. He continued to spend long hours in the lab, driven by his passion for discovery. Ava Helen was a constant source of support, encouraging him and helping him balance his work and personal life. Her unwavering belief in him gave Linus the strength to keep pushing forward, even when things got difficult. One of the most exciting moments for Linus came when he received an invitation to work with Professor Arnold Sommerfeld in Germany. Professor Sommerfeld was a leading expert in quantum mechanics, and studying with him was a dream come true for Linus. He and Ava Helen travelled to Europe, where Linus spent several months working alongside some of the most brilliant minds in science. The experience in Germany was transformative for Linus. He learned new techniques and gained a deeper understanding of quantum mechanics. This knowledge greatly influenced his later work and helped him refine his theories about chemical bonds. The time spent abroad also strengthened his determination to make significant contributions to the field of chemistry. After returning to Caltech, Linus continued his research with renewed energy and enthusiasm. He collaborated with other scientists and mentored younger students, sharing his knowledge and passion for chemistry. Linus's work at Caltech laid the foundation for many of his future achievements, including winning the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. As Linus's reputation grew, so did his responsibilities. He was offered a faculty position at Caltech, where he could continue his research and teach new generations of students. Linus accepted the position with gratitude, knowing that it was a recognition of his hard work and dedication. Teaching became an important part of Linus's career. He enjoyed sharing his knowledge and inspiring students to pursue their own scientific inquiries. Linus's lectures were known for being engaging and thought-provoking. He used simple language and clear examples to explain complex concepts, making them accessible to everyone. Throughout his time at Caltech, Linus faced many challenges and overcame numerous obstacles. His journey was marked by perseverance, curiosity, and a deep love for science. Each discovery and achievement was a testament to his hard work and determination. Linus Pauling's road to Caltech was not easy, but it was filled with valuable lessons and incredible opportunities. His experiences as a young researcher shaped his career and set the stage for his future contributions to science. Linus's story is a reminder that with passion, dedication, and support from loved ones, it is possible to overcome challenges and achieve great things. Chapter 5. Breakthroughs in Chemistry. Linus Pauling's work on chemical bonds began to change the field of chemistry in ways no one had imagined. After his successful time at Caltech and his experiences in Germany, Linus returned with a fresh perspective. He was ready to dive deeper into the mysteries of how atoms bond together to form molecules. In the late 1920s, chemistry was still evolving. Scientists knew that atoms joined together to make molecules, but they did not fully understand how. Linus was determined to solve this puzzle. He spent countless hours in the lab, conducting experiments and studying the behavior of different elements. Linus's curiosity led him to use quantum mechanics, a branch of physics that explains the behavior of very small particles like atoms and electrons. Quantum mechanics was a new field at the time, and many scientists found it confusing. But Linus saw its potential to explain chemical bonds in a new way. He started applying the principles of quantum mechanics to chemistry, which was an innovative approach. One of Linus's major discoveries was about the nature of covalent bonds. He found that when two atoms share electrons, they form a strong bond called a covalent bond. This type of bond is what holds the atoms together in a molecule. Linus also discovered how the shape and structure of a molecule are determined by the angles between the bonds. These findings were groundbreaking and helped scientists understand how molecules are formed and how they behave. As Linus continued his research, he realized that he needed to share his discoveries with the scientific community. He started writing a book to explain his theories and findings. This book, The Nature of the Chemical Bond, would become one of the most important texts in the field of chemistry. Linus worked tirelessly on the book, making sure that his ideas were clear and easy to understand. In 1939, The Nature of the Chemical Bond was published. The book was an instant success. It explained complex concepts in a simple and straightforward way, making it accessible to both students and experienced chemists. Linus's theories about chemical bonds were revolutionary, and the book quickly became a standard reference in chemistry. The impact of Linus's work was profound. His book and research changed the way scientists thought about molecules and chemical reactions. It provided a solid foundation for future research and opened new pathways for discoveries. Linus's innovative approach earned him widespread acclaim and respect from his peers. One of the key concepts in Linus's book was the idea of hybridization. He explained how atomic orbitals, which are regions around an atom where electrons are likely to be found, can mix to form new hybrid orbitals. These hybrid orbitals help explain the shapes of molecules and the angles between bonds. Linus's explanation of hybridization was a major breakthrough that helped scientists understand molecular geometry. Linus's work on chemical bonds also had practical applications. It helped chemists design new molecules for a variety of purposes, from medicines to materials. His theories made it easier to predict the properties of molecules and how they would interact with each other. This knowledge was valuable in many fields, including medicine, agriculture, and industry. As Linus's reputation grew, he received several prestigious awards. In 1948, he was awarded the Gibbs Medal, one of the highest honors in the field of chemistry. In 1954, he received the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for his research on the nature of chemical bonds. The Nobel Prize was a significant recognition of Linus's contributions to science. It highlighted the importance of his work and his impact on the field of chemistry. Despite his success, Linus remained humble and dedicated to his work. He continued to conduct research and teach students at Caltech. He believed in the importance of education and enjoyed sharing his knowledge with the next generation of scientists. Linus's passion for discovery and his commitment to excellence inspired many of his students to pursue careers in science. Linus's groundbreaking work in chemistry did not stop with his book and awards. He continued to explore new areas of research and make important discoveries. One of his later achievements was his work on the structure of proteins. He used his knowledge of chemical bonds to study how proteins are built and how they function in living organisms. This research was crucial for the development of molecular biology and biochemistry. Throughout his career, Linus faced many challenges. He had to overcome skepticism from other scientists who were not familiar with quantum mechanics. He also had to balance his research with his responsibilities as a teacher and a family man. But Linus's determination and passion for science kept him going. He believed in the importance of his work and was driven by a desire to understand the world at a deeper level. Linus's contributions to chemistry have left a lasting legacy. His theories and discoveries continue to influence the field today. Scientists build on his work to develop new theories and technologies. Linus's approach to science, combining creativity with rigorous experimentation, serves as a model for researchers around the world. As we reflect on Linus Pauling's breakthroughs in chemistry, we see how his innovative ideas and tireless efforts revolutionized the field. His work on chemical bonds provided a new understanding of how molecules are formed and how they behave. Linus's achievements remind us of the power of curiosity and the importance of pushing the boundaries of knowledge. Chapter 6. The Nobel Prize in Chemistry. In 1954, Linus Pauling received a phone call that would change his life. He was at his home in Pasadena when the news came. He had been awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. This prestigious honor was given to him for his groundbreaking work on the nature of chemical bonds. Linus's research had transformed the field of chemistry. He had spent years studying how atoms connect to form molecules using the principles of quantum mechanics. His book, The Nature of the Chemical Bond, had become a fundamental text for chemists around the world. Now, his contributions were being recognized with the highest award in science. The Nobel Prize is given only to those who have made significant advances in their field. For Linus, this recognition was a validation of his hard work and dedication. But more importantly, it was an acknowledgement of the importance of his discoveries. His theories had not only advanced scientific knowledge, but also had practical applications in many areas, such as medicine and materials science. The Nobel Prize ceremony took place in Stockholm, Sweden, on December 10, 1954. Linus travelled there with his wife, Eva Helen. They were both excited and a bit nervous. The ceremony was grand and formal, attended by the King of Sweden and other dignitaries. Linus wore a black suit, and Eva Helen wore a beautiful evening gown. As Linus walked onto the stage to receive his prize, he felt a mix of emotions. He was proud of his achievements, but also humbled by the honour. The King of Sweden handed him the Nobel Medal and diploma, and the audience applauded warmly. Linus gave a brief speech, thanking the Nobel Committee for the honour and expressing his gratitude to his family, mentors, and colleagues who had supported him throughout his career. In his acceptance speech, Linus talked about the importance of scientific research. He emphasized that curiosity and a desire to understand the world drive discoveries. He also spoke about the need for cooperation among scientists from different countries, highlighting how collaboration leads to progress. His speech was inspiring, reflecting his deep passion for science and his commitment to using knowledge for the betterment of humanity. Winning the Nobel Prize had a significant impact on Linus's career. It brought him international fame and opened new opportunities for research and collaboration. Many universities and research institutions invited him to speak and share his knowledge. Linus used these opportunities to promote the importance of scientific research and education. The prize also brought more attention to Linus's ongoing research. He continued to work on various scientific problems, always pushing the boundaries of what was known. One of his major projects after winning the Nobel Prize was studying the structure of proteins. His research in this area was crucial for understanding how proteins function in living organisms. Linus's work on proteins led to another important discovery, the structure of sickle cell hemoglobin. He found that sickle cell anemia, a genetic blood disorder, was caused by a change in the structure of hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells that carries oxygen. This was a groundbreaking finding that opened up new possibilities for diagnosing and treating the disease. Despite his fame and busy schedule, Linus remained dedicated to teaching. He continued to teach classes at the California Institute of Technology, Caltech, and mentor young scientists. He believed that education was the key to progress and enjoyed sharing his knowledge with students. Linus's lectures were known for being clear and engaging, making complex concepts accessible to everyone. Linus also used his newfound fame to advocate for social causes. He was deeply concerned about the dangers of nuclear weapons and became an outspoken advocate for peace. He argued that scientists had a responsibility to use their knowledge for the benefit of humanity and to speak out against threats to global security. His efforts in this area earned him both admiration and criticism, but he remained steadfast in his commitment to peace. The Nobel Prize brought many honours, but it also came with challenges. Linus had to balance his research, teaching, and public advocacy. He travelled frequently, giving lectures and participating in conferences around the world. The demands on his time were great, but Linus managed them with the support of Ava Helen, who stood by his side throughout his journey. Looking back, Linus often reflected on the significance of winning the Nobel Prize. He saw it not just as a personal achievement, but as a recognition of the importance of scientific inquiry. He believed that the prize underscored the value of curiosity, hard work, and collaboration in advancing human knowledge. Linus hoped that his story would inspire others to pursue their passions and contribute to the betterment of the world. In the years following his Nobel Prize, Linus continued to make significant contributions to science. His research and advocacy left a lasting legacy, influencing many fields and inspiring future generations of scientists. He remained a passionate advocate for the role of science in society and worked tirelessly to promote peace and justice. Linus Pauling's journey to the Nobel Prize was a testament to his dedication and perseverance. His groundbreaking work on chemical bonds revolutionized the field of chemistry and earned him the highest recognition in science. The impact of his discoveries extended far beyond the laboratory, touching many aspects of life and opening new possibilities for the future. You're listening to Woo English. If you enjoyed learning about Linus Pauling's life, his scientific discoveries, and his dedication to peace, please like and comment on the story. Your feedback helps us bring you more inspiring and educational content. Chapter 7. A Shift to Biology. In the latter part of his career, Linus Pauling's interests began to shift. He had already made groundbreaking discoveries in chemistry, but his curiosity led him to explore new fields. Linus became increasingly interested in biology and medicine. This new direction would bring about some of his most important work. Linus was fascinated by proteins, the building blocks of life. Proteins are complex molecules that perform many vital functions in the body. Linus wanted to understand how proteins are structured and how they work. His background in chemistry helped him approach these questions in a unique way. One of the proteins that caught Linus's attention was hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is found in red blood cells and is responsible for carrying oxygen from the lungs to the rest of the body. It's a crucial protein for human life. Linus started to study hemoglobin in detail, trying to understand its structure and function. At the time, scientists knew that hemoglobin could exist in different forms. One form, called normal hemoglobin, functioned properly. Another form, known as sickle cell hemoglobin, caused a severe disease called sickle cell anemia. In this disease, red blood cells become stiff and shaped like a crescent or sickle. These sickled cells can block blood flow and cause pain, infections, and other serious health problems. Linus wanted to find out why sickle cell hemoglobin caused these problems. He hypothesized that the disease was related to the structure of the hemoglobin molecule. To test his idea, he used techniques from chemistry to study the differences between normal and sickle cell hemoglobin. After much research, Linus made a groundbreaking discovery. He found that sickle cell anemia was caused by a small change in the hemoglobin molecule. In sickle cell hemoglobin, just one of the many amino acids, the building blocks of proteins, was different from normal hemoglobin. This tiny change altered the shape of the hemoglobin molecule, causing it to stick together and form long, rigid fibers. These fibers made the red blood cells stiff and sickle-shaped. This discovery was significant for several reasons. First, it showed that a genetic disease could be caused by a specific molecular defect. This was one of the first times a disease was linked directly to a change in the structure of a protein. Linus's work helped to establish the field of molecular biology, which studies how molecules in our bodies affect our health and disease. Second, Linus's discovery had practical implications. By understanding the cause of sickle cell anemia, scientists could start looking for ways to treat or even cure the disease. Linus's research opened up new possibilities for medical science. Linus's work on sickle cell anemia demonstrated his versatility and intellectual curiosity. He had successfully transitioned from chemistry to biology, showing that the principles of chemistry could be applied to solve important biological problems. This interdisciplinary approach became a hallmark of Linus's career. As Linus continued his research, he became more involved in studying other proteins and their roles in health and disease. He collaborated with biologists, doctors, and other researchers to explore new questions. Linus's ability to bridge different fields of science made his work particularly impactful. One of Linus's later projects involved studying the role of vitamin C in health. He hypothesized that vitamin C could help prevent and treat various illnesses, including the common cold and even cancer. This idea was controversial and sparked much debate in the scientific community. Some researchers supported Linus's theories, while others were skeptical. Despite the controversy, Linus conducted several studies on vitamin C and published his findings. He advocated for higher intake of vitamin C to improve health and prevent disease. His work on vitamin C highlighted his willingness to explore new ideas and challenge established beliefs. Throughout his career, Linus's passion for science and discovery never waned. He continued to ask questions, conduct research, and share his findings with the world. His shift to biology and medicine showcased his ability to adapt and innovate, qualities that defined his approach to science. Linus's contributions to biology and medicine earned him recognition and respect from the scientific community. He received numerous awards and honors for his work, including a second Nobel Prize, this time for peace, for his efforts to promote nuclear disarmament and global security. Looking back on his career, Linus often reflected on the importance of curiosity and interdisciplinary research. He believed that the most exciting discoveries often come from exploring the boundaries between different fields of science. Linus's journey from chemistry to biology exemplified this belief, demonstrating how a broad approach to science can lead to groundbreaking discoveries. Linus Pauling's shift to biology not only advanced our understanding of diseases like sickle cell anemia, but also paved the way for future research in molecular biology. His work has inspired countless scientists to explore the connections between chemistry, biology, and medicine, leading to new treatments and improved health outcomes. Chapter 8: Peace Activism. Linus Pauling was not only a brilliant scientist but also a passionate advocate for peace. In the 1950s, the world was in the midst of the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union were building and testing nuclear weapons, which made many people, including Linus, very worried. He believed that these powerful weapons posed a great threat to humanity. Linus's concern for peace began during World War II, but it grew stronger after he witnessed the devastating effects of the atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. He saw the destruction and suffering caused by these weapons and felt a deep responsibility to speak out against their use. In the early 1950s, Linus started to use his fame and influence to promote peace. He joined forces with other scientists and activists who shared his views. One of the first steps he took was to sign the Russell-Einstein Manifesto in 1955. This document, written by philosopher Bertrand Russell and physicist Albert Einstein, called for the end of nuclear weapons and urged world leaders to seek peaceful solutions to conflicts. Linus knew that simply signing a document was not enough. He began giving speeches, writing articles, and participating in protests to raise awareness about the dangers of nuclear weapons. He traveled across the United States and Europe, speaking to large audiences about the need for disarmament. He used his scientific knowledge to explain the severe consequences of nuclear war, including the immediate destruction and long-term environmental damage. One of Linus's most significant contributions to the peace movement was his work on the effects of radiation. He conducted research on how radioactive fallout from nuclear tests affected human health. Linus discovered that even small amounts of radiation could cause genetic mutations and increase the risk of cancer. He published his findings and used them to argue against nuclear weapons testing. In 1958, Linus and his wife, Ava Helen, presented a petition to the United Nations. The petition, signed by over 11,000 scientists from around the world, called for an end to nuclear weapons testing. This was a bold and unprecedented move. Linus and Ava Helen's efforts drew international attention and put pressure on governments to consider the harmful effects of their actions. Linus's activism was not without its challenges. Many people admired his courage and dedication, but others criticized him. Some government officials and fellow scientists accused him of being unpatriotic or even a communist sympathizer because of his opposition to nuclear weapons. Linus faced intense scrutiny and even had his passport revoked for a time, preventing him from traveling internationally. Despite the criticism, Linus remained steadfast in his beliefs. He continued to advocate for peace, often collaborating with other prominent figures in the movement. One of his close allies was Dr. Albert Schweitzer, a respected physician and humanitarian. Together, they worked to educate the public about the dangers of nuclear weapons and the importance of disarmament. Linus's efforts began to pay off. In 1963, the Partial Test Ban Treaty was signed by the United States, the Soviet Union, and the United Kingdom. This treaty prohibited nuclear weapons tests in the atmosphere, underwater, and in space. It was a significant step towards reducing the threat of nuclear war. Linus was pleased with this progress, but knew there was still much work to be done. That same year, Linus was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his activism. This made him the only person to have won 2 unshared Nobel Prizes, having already won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1954. The Nobel Committee recognized Linus for his tireless efforts to promote peace and his courageous stand against nuclear weapons. In his acceptance speech, Linus spoke about the importance of continuing the fight for a world free of nuclear weapons. He dedicated his award to all those who worked for peace and justice. Winning the Nobel Peace Prize brought Linus even more attention and influence. He used his platform to further advocate for disarmament and to address other issues of global importance, such as human rights and social justice. Linus believed that peace was not just the absence of war, but also the presence of justice and equality. Linus's dedication to peace extended beyond nuclear disarmament. He also spoke out against the Vietnam War and advocated for civil rights. He believed that true peace could only be achieved through respect for human rights and the dignity of all people. Linus worked alongside other activists to promote these values and to encourage dialogue and understanding among different nations and cultures. Throughout his life, Linus Pauling remained committed to the cause of peace. His work as a scientist and an activist showed that one person could make a significant difference in the world. Linus's passion for peace and his willingness to stand up for what he believed in inspired many others to join the movement. Linus's legacy as a peace activist is an important part of his story. His efforts helped to raise awareness about the dangers of nuclear weapons and to promote the idea that scientific knowledge should be used for the benefit of humanity. Linus's work reminds us that we all have a role to play in creating a more peaceful and just world. Chapter 9. The Nobel Peace Prize. In the early 1960s, the world was filled with tension. The Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union had people worried about the possibility of nuclear war. During this time, Linus Pauling was a strong voice for peace. He had spent years working to stop the spread of nuclear weapons and to end nuclear testing. His efforts were about to be recognized in a way that would cement his legacy as both a scientist and a peace advocate. On October 10, 1962, Linus Pauling received a phone call that brought unexpected news. The call was from the Nobel Committee in Norway. They informed him that he had been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts to promote peace and his strong opposition to nuclear weapons testing. Linus was stunned. He had already won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1954, and now he was being honoured with a second Nobel Prize, this time for peace. The announcement of Linus Pauling's Nobel Peace Prize came at a critical moment in history. The Cuban Missile Crisis was unfolding, bringing the world to the brink of nuclear war. Linus's work for peace was more relevant than ever. His advocacy had helped to raise awareness about the dangers of nuclear weapons and had put pressure on world leaders to seek peaceful solutions. The journey to the Nobel Peace Prize was not easy for Linus. He faced criticism and opposition from many people, including some in the scientific community and the government. Some accused him of being unpatriotic because of his outspoken views against nuclear weapons. Despite these challenges, Linus remained steadfast in his beliefs. He continued to speak out, write articles, and participate in protests, all in the name of peace. One of Linus's most significant contributions to the peace movement was his work on the effects of radiation from nuclear tests. He had discovered that even small amounts of radiation could cause serious health problems, such as cancer and genetic mutations. This research was a powerful argument against nuclear testing. Linus and his wife, Ava Helen, presented a petition to the United Nations in 1958, signed by over 11,000 scientists from 50 countries, calling for an end to nuclear weapons testing. This petition was a bold move that drew international attention and increased pressure on governments to change their policies. The Nobel Peace Prize ceremony took place in Oslo, Norway, on December 10, 1963. Linus and Ava Helen travelled to Oslo for the event. They were both excited and proud, knowing that this award was a recognition of their many years of hard work and dedication to peace. The ceremony was formal and dignified, attended by the King of Norway and other important figures. Linus walked onto the stage to receive his prize. The King of Norway handed him the Nobel Medal and diploma, and the audience applauded warmly. Linus felt a deep sense of accomplishment and humility. He knew that this award was not just for him, but for everyone who had worked for peace alongside him. In his acceptance speech, Linus spoke about the importance of continuing the fight for a world free of nuclear weapons. He emphasized that science should be used for the benefit of humanity, not for its destruction. Linus called on world leaders to take concrete steps toward disarmament and to work together to create a more peaceful world. His speech was inspiring and heartfelt, reflecting his deep commitment to the cause of peace. Linus's Nobel Peace Prize had a significant impact on his career and his influence as a peace advocate. It gave him a larger platform to spread his message and to reach more people around the world. Many universities and organizations invited him to speak about his work for peace. Linus used these opportunities to continue advocating for disarmament and to educate people about the dangers of nuclear weapons. Winning the Nobel Peace Prize also brought new challenges. Some people continued to criticize Linus, questioning his motives and his scientific credibility. However, the recognition from the Nobel Committee strengthened his resolve. Linus knew that his work was making a difference and that it was important to keep pushing for change. The Nobel Peace Prize also had a personal significance for Linus and Ava Helen. It was a validation of their partnership and their shared commitment to peace. Ava Helen had been a constant support for Linus, working alongside him and helping to organize many of their efforts. The prize was a testament to their teamwork and their unwavering belief in the power of peaceful activism. As the only person to receive 2 unshared Nobel Prizes, Linus Pauling's legacy was solidified. He had made groundbreaking contributions to both science and peace, showing that one person could have a profound impact on the world. His work inspired many others to continue the fight for disarmament and to use their talents for the greater good. Linus continued his advocacy for peace for the rest of his life. He spoke out against the Vietnam War and supported civil rights movements. He believed that true peace could only be achieved through justice and equality for all people. Linus's dedication to these principles made him a respected and influential figure in the peace movement. The global impact of Linus's Nobel Peace Prize was significant. It helped to raise awareness about the dangers of nuclear weapons and the need for disarmament. His work encouraged other scientists to take a stand on important social issues and to use their knowledge for positive change. Linus's legacy continues to inspire future generations to work for a more peaceful and just world. As we reflect on Linus Pauling's life, we see how his relentless pursuit of peace and his groundbreaking scientific work have left a lasting impact. His story teaches us the importance of standing up for what we believe in and using our talents to make the world a better place. Linus Pauling's journey from scientist to peace advocate shows that with courage and determination, we can achieve great things and make a positive difference in the world. Chapter 10. Later Years and Controversies. In his later years, Linus Pauling continued to be a prominent figure in both science and public advocacy. Even as he grew older, his passion for discovery and his commitment to improving the world remained strong. However, his later work, particularly his support for vitamin C, sparked controversy and debate. In the 1970s, Linus became very interested in the potential health benefits of vitamin C. He believed that high doses of this vitamin could prevent and treat various illnesses, including the common cold and even cancer. This idea was revolutionary and controversial. Most doctors and scientists at the time believed that the recommended daily amount of vitamin C was sufficient for good health. Linus began his research on vitamin C by studying its effects on the common cold. He reviewed many studies and conducted experiments to test his hypothesis. In 1970, he published a book called Vitamin C and the Common Cold. In this book, he suggested that taking large doses of vitamin C could reduce the severity and duration of colds. The book became very popular and brought a lot of public attention to the idea. Encouraged by the positive response, Linus expanded his research to explore the effects of vitamin C on other diseases. He partnered with Dr. Ewan Cameron, a Scottish surgeon, to study the impact of vitamin C on cancer patients. They conducted several studies and found that some patients who took high doses of vitamin C lived longer than expected. These results were promising, but they were not widely accepted by the medical community. Many scientists criticized Linus's work on vitamin C. They argued that his studies were not rigorous enough and that the evidence was not strong enough to support his claims. Some accused him of promoting unproven treatments and giving false hope to patients. Despite the criticism, Linus stood by his findings. He believed that more research was needed and continued to advocate for the benefits of vitamin C. Linus's support for vitamin C was not the only controversial aspect of his later years. He also spoke out on other health issues, such as the dangers of radiation and the benefits of a healthy diet. His views often went against the mainstream medical opinion, which led to further criticism and debate. Despite the controversies, Linus continued to be active in scientific research. He founded the Linus Pauling Institute of Science and Medicine in 1973. The institute's mission was to conduct research on nutrition and health, with a focus on the role of vitamins and other nutrients in preventing disease. The institute became a center for cutting-edge research and attracted many talented scientists. Linus's later years were also marked by his continued advocacy for peace and social justice. He remained a vocal critic of nuclear weapons and worked to promote disarmament. He also supported environmental causes and spoke out against pollution and climate change. Linus believed that science should be used to solve the world's problems and improve the quality of life for all people. Throughout his life, Linus faced many challenges and criticisms. However, he handled these challenges with grace and determination. He believed in the importance of questioning established ideas and exploring new possibilities. Linus's willingness to challenge the status quo and think outside the box was a key factor in his success as a scientist and an advocate. In the face of criticism, Linus often reminded himself of the importance of perseverance. He knew that new ideas were often met with resistance and that progress required patience and persistence. Linus's ability to stay focused on his goals, even when others doubted him, was one of his greatest strengths. Linus's work on vitamin C continued to be a topic of debate long after his death in 1994. Some researchers found evidence to support his claims, while others remained skeptical. The controversy highlighted the complexity of scientific research and the challenges of changing established medical practices. Despite the ongoing debate, Linus's work on vitamin C inspired many people to take a closer look at the role of nutrition in health. Linus's later years were a testament to his enduring passion for science and his commitment to making a difference. He never stopped asking questions, exploring new ideas, and advocating for what he believed in. His willingness to take risks and challenge conventional wisdom left a lasting impact on the fields of science and medicine. As we reflect on Linus Pauling's life, we see a man who was not afraid to stand up for his beliefs, even when they were unpopular. His courage, curiosity, and dedication to improving the world serve as an inspiration to all of us. Linus's story reminds us that true progress often requires us to think differently and to be willing to take on new challenges, no matter how difficult they may be. In the end, Linus Pauling's legacy is not just about his scientific discoveries or his advocacy for peace. It is also about his unwavering commitment to exploring new frontiers and his belief in the power of science to change the world for the better. His life and work continue to inspire future generations of scientists, activists, and thinkers to pursue their passions and to make a positive impact on the world. As we continue to explore Linus Pauling's life, we see how his later years were marked by both controversy and achievement. His work on vitamin C and his continued advocacy for peace and justice show that his passion for making a difference never wavered. Linus Pauling's story is a powerful reminder that with dedication, courage, and a willingness to challenge the status quo, we can achieve great things and leave a lasting legacy. Chapter 11. Legacy and Impact. Linus Pauling's contributions to science and peace have left a lasting impact on the world. His groundbreaking discoveries and passionate advocacy continue to influence modern science and inspire future generations. In this chapter, we will explore Linus's enduring legacy, the institutions and awards named in his honor, and the ongoing debates around some of his more controversial theories. Linus Pauling's work revolutionized the field of chemistry. His research on the nature of chemical bonds changed how scientists understand the way atoms combine to form molecules. His book, The Nature of the Chemical Bond, remains a fundamental text in chemistry education. Many of the concepts Linus developed are still taught in schools and universities around the world. His work laid the foundation for advances in molecular biology, materials science, and medicine. Beyond his scientific achievements, Linus's dedication to peace and social justice has had a profound impact. His efforts to promote nuclear disarmament and end nuclear weapons testing helped raise awareness about the dangers of nuclear war. The Russell-Einstein Manifesto and the petition he presented to the United Nations, signed by thousands of scientists, were significant steps toward global disarmament. These actions inspired other scientists to use their voices for social good and to advocate for a more peaceful world. One of the most visible parts of Linus Pauling's legacy is the Linus Pauling Institute. Founded in 1973, the Institute focuses on research in health and wellness, particularly the role of vitamins and other nutrients in preventing disease. The Institute continues to conduct cutting-edge research and to promote the benefits of good nutrition. Linus's vision for a healthier world through science lives on through the work of the Institute. Linus's legacy is also honoured through various awards and recognitions. The Linus Pauling Medal, awarded by the American Chemical Society, honours outstanding achievement in chemistry. Many universities have named buildings, laboratories and lectureships after Linus, recognising his contributions to science and education. These honours reflect the high regard in which he is held by the scientific community. Despite his many accolades, some of Linus Pauling's theories remain controversial. His advocacy for high doses of vitamin C to treat the common cold and other illnesses sparked debate that continues today. While some studies support his claims, others do not, leading to ongoing discussions among scientists and medical professionals. This controversy highlights the complexities of scientific research and the challenges of changing established medical practices. Linus's work on vitamin C has had a lasting impact on the field of nutrition. It has encouraged further research into the benefits of vitamins and other nutrients. His willingness to explore new ideas and challenge conventional wisdom has inspired other scientists to do the same. This spirit of curiosity and innovation is a key part of Linus's legacy. Linus Pauling's influence extends beyond his scientific and medical contributions. He was a role model for how to live a life dedicated to both knowledge and social justice. His commitment to using science for the betterment of humanity serves as an inspiration to all who strive to make a positive impact on the world. Linus showed that it is possible to be both a brilliant scientist and a passionate advocate for peace. The impact of Linus Pauling's work can be seen in many areas of modern science. His research on chemical bonds continues to influence the development of new materials and technologies. His work on the structure of proteins has been crucial for advancements in biochemistry and molecular biology. Scientists building on Linus's discoveries have made significant progress in understanding diseases and developing new treatments. Linus's commitment to peace and disarmament remains relevant today. The threat of nuclear weapons has not disappeared, and his advocacy for a world free of these weapons continues to inspire activists and policymakers. Linus's belief in the power of science to solve global problems is a guiding principle for many who work in international relations and peace studies. One of the most enduring aspects of Linus Pauling's legacy is his dedication to education. He believed deeply in the importance of teaching and mentoring the next generation of scientists. Many of his students went on to make their own significant contributions to science. Linus's clear and engaging teaching style set a standard for how complex scientific concepts can be made accessible to everyone. As we look back on Linus Pauling's life, we see a man who was driven by a deep curiosity and a desire to improve the world. His scientific discoveries have had a lasting impact on many fields, and his advocacy for peace has inspired countless people. Linus's legacy is one of innovation, dedication, and a commitment to using knowledge for the greater good. Linus Pauling's story reminds us of the power of perseverance and the importance of following our passions. His ability to think outside the box and challenge established ideas led to groundbreaking discoveries and significant social change. Linus's life shows us that with hard work, dedication, and a willingness to explore new ideas, we can make a lasting impact on the world. In conclusion, Linus Pauling's contributions to science and peace have left a remarkable legacy. The institutions and awards named in his honor reflect his lasting impact on the scientific community and beyond. His work continues to influence modern science, and the ongoing debates around his more controversial theories highlight the dynamic nature of scientific inquiry. Linus Pauling's legacy is a testament to the enduring power of curiosity, innovation, and a commitment to making the world a better place.